I said I watched a little bit of Charleston White on Cam Newton's YouTube channel. Yeah, man, I watched some of that Charleston White. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. I agree with a whole lot of what he said. I said I agree with a whole lot of what Charleston White had to say. You know what? I like at the end, Cam said, this is all for entertainment. Yeah, because he smoked your ass on your own show. Oh, I agree a whole lot with what Charleston White was saying. Like I hope that some of that was theatrical. I hope that it was all for the cameras. I need to learn how to do that better, man. I need to learn to do what they're doing, like where you pretend to hold a certain stance, but you don't, but you do it for the camera. You do it for the gram or the YouTube or the TikTok. I haven't learned how to do that yet. Now, when I was on camera, embarrassing the hell out of Tommy Lauren, the original Candace Owens, when I was on camera embarrassing the hell out of Tommy Lauren, and my progressive friends was just quiet because they ain't got shit to say, I wasn't doing that for cameras. I was doing that because that's how I felt. I wasn't even playing a role. I'm not playing a role now. This is who I am. This is what I do. I'm not a guy trying to, see, that's the only problem I have with Charleston, is this thing gets all, whatever, I'm not really, this ain't me, I'm not really, I'm a character. What the hell, man? I don't have time for that. I don't have time for it, man. I don't have time to figure it out. This ain't really how I feel, or this ain't really me, or this is I need people to be one way. I need people to be one way, yo. I don't need, and they give this guy they give this guy thousands of dollars, and it's like an act. He's like Stephen Colbert for poor black people. Stephen Colbert. How many people remember when Stephen Colbert was playing a Republican, like, remember that? Remember when Stephen Colbert was playing a Republican? So he would stay in character through the show as this guy he wasn't. Remember that? That's what Charleston White's doing. I guess. It's confusing. But so I agree with a lot of what he said, like 99% of what he said, I agree with it. How many of you guys saw that interview? Did you see it though? Give me a 1 up in the comment section if you saw it. Hell, give me a 1 if you saw it. Give me a 2 if you don't even know who Charleston White is. You know, because we might have some people who have no idea who the guy is. They'd be like, Tim, who was that? Who was Charleston Chills? What? Charleston Heston? Frank White? What? So look, I'm gonna go to a clip. I'm gonna play this clip of Charleston White, and I want to say Carmelo so bad. Cam Newton and Charleston White. A little bit of it, okay? Just a little bit. Hey, Cam, just a little bit, Joe. I ain't gonna go far. It's like a minute, okay? Hope that's cool. I don't want no problems. Feel what I'm saying? I want no problems. Everybody go see the Cam Newton show on Keep It Funky Fridays with the Cam Newton show, the YouTube channel. Y'all know who I'm talking about? I got any ones in there? I got some ones. Okay. That's what's up. Thank you. I'm glad I got some people that know what I'm talking about. All right, so let me play this clip, guys, real quick. Cam Newton, Charleston White.
What happened? I'm still HBCU hashtagging while I'm cooning.
Yes, sir.
And I'm still showing up at the HBCU, buying HBCU girl, and rocking it on the major platform. I don't see nobody HBCUing it like me. So who cooning?
So I'm going to tell you this. You just sit up there and told me that you made $40,000 in 2 days. And you also just told me that if you had an opportunity to make $400,000, you would take that. So the fact that Deion said, hold on, I'll let you finish.
Let me just say, I turned down a $5 million deal with Aiden Ross and Kick to take a $500,000 deal with niggas. I turned down a $5 million deal with Aiden Ross and Kick to come over here to sign a $500,000 deal with niggas so I can stay with my people. Yeah, they say I'm dumb and stupid. Yeah, I turned down $5 million so I can go sign $500,000. So I can stay with these niggas. I ain't want to sell out and go beat up them white folks. Take all my star power over there with Kick and Aiden Ross with them Jews. I wasn't finna do that, my nigga. I stayed with the niggas. Culture TV. Don't even know if they can give me the whole $500,000. But nigga, I stayed with my people, my nigga. My spirit wouldn't let me do it. So I don't give a damn what Deion taught. Nigga, I sacrificed for it. Yeah, when I told them white folk I'm not leaving my people, they took back it's a curriculum. And for those that know, it's a curriculum called Thinking for a Change. When Obama implemented the My Brother's Keepers initiative, there's a curriculum that's called Thinking for a Change. It's damn near $100,000 curriculum. White folk gave it to me. But they said, Charleston, we want you. We don't want your people. I said, if you take me away from my people, you diminish the value of who I am for my people. I'm going to say it again. When you take me away from my people, you diminish the value of who I am for my people.
I love that part. That was my shit right there, man. I love that. Yeah, I love that part. I love that part, y'all. How many people love that part? I love that because I live that. I love that part because I've lived that part, man. He said, if you take me from my people, you diminish my value to my people. Yeah, man. And that's when they took their paperwork back. That's the same thing that happened to me. When I say, look, I got to talk about reparations. I got to start talking about this black shit more, not less. I was already the only black person on the left that was talking about Tamir Rice, about Michael Brown. Go look at the archives. I was the only black person calling himself progressive in the fucking country, talking about progressive shit, but talking about black people shit. And I was cool with them, but they was going to make sure I was going to get no paper. And when I went too far, when I started saying we need reparations, we need a black agenda, when I brought on Dr. Sandy Darity, when I started doing that, lights out. But I love what Charleston White's saying here because it's a problem we have. People think that Charleston White's a coon because he called out black people. I can't stand this shit. What's wrong with us with this? No! He's calling out some black people, not black people as a group. You can criticize a black person and not be a coon. What is wrong with these people? Cam Newton, you're supposed to be a smart man. Didn't Cam go to college? He know better. Maybe that's the part, Tim, where they were playing games. Listen, guys. If black people can't call out black people, who gonna call them out? White people can't call out black people because when white people call out black people, we call them racist. And a lot of them are. Racism's so bad, we got people that are racist that don't even know they're racist. That's how deep racism runs. So Charleston White is right. If he can't call out Deion Sanders, who can, man? If Charleston can't call out Deion Sanders, if I can't call out Deion Sanders, which I did, I got backlash too. You know you would do the same thing. Yeah, Judas sold Jesus for, what, how many pieces of silver, whatever that was? That's what you sound like, man. Money ain't everything. Everybody, we got some people's minds that are so focused on material shit, they can't even imagine another person not rolling like them, that they'll do anything for money. Man, I'm a black man with a black wife and black kids living in a black house in a black neighborhood, man. I got black cousins, black uncles, black aunt. I got black grandkids now. Three black grandkids. My daughter been busy. My son ain't gave me no grandkids yet. Hey, look, take your time, son, take your time. You damn right I could do something besides make money. Charleston White is saying money ain't everything. And you got, I guess he said it to the wrong person. He said it to a guy who was willing to get CTE for a living in order to pick up money. Yeah, if you're willing to die on a football field for money, which I'm not, look, I'm not knocking you for playing football. What I'm saying is, if you're willing to die to get some money, yeah, you could, I'm pretty sure you could find a way to say, okay, let me take this money over here and leave these people alone over here. I mean, it's a deep section of the interview. That clip doesn't really do it justice. To really get the full exposure, you got to watch the clip. I didn't watch the whole thing is like 2-3 hours. Plus, I don't want to watch too much Charleston White or anybody. I don't want to watch anybody too long, because then your opinions and their opinions start to blend. And if you're a hip-hop head, you know what I'm talking about. If you're a creative person, you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to consume too much of anybody's content, because you want to stay unique and true to your own voice. If you start listening too much to other people, then you start subconsciously absorbing that. You don't want that. But I love what I did here. Yeah, see, we got a problem, man, when we think, if we start, look, man, let's just be real. There's a class of people, there's different classes, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Not only do black people got the problem of skin tone, colorization, not only do we have that where black people look at light-skinned black people and think that they're smarter, more articulate, more beautiful. Not only do we got colorization going on, we also got classism. Now, if you're not a black person, you probably don't understand what I'm talking about. But if you're a black person, I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. It's a problem, right? And we got people like Cam Newton and many others who defend Deion Sanders because they see an opportunity for Deion Sanders to get a whole lot of money and take a new position and a better job and all this shit. And they don't realize, they forget, Deion Sanders was already Deion Sanders when he was at Jackson State. He was already Deion Sanders, man. You know, it's one thing, and look, it's one thing when you in your humble beginnings, you know, and you in the hood, or you in the ghetto, or you're not making much money. Your pockets is tight. You paycheck to paycheck, or you struggling, or you sleeping on somebody's couch. Raise your hand. Give me a 1-up if you've ever been bad off. I remember sleeping in the laundry room. I remember sleeping in the laundry room. I remember sleeping in cars. See, it's one thing when you're doing that, okay? And then you decide, well, I'm going to go ahead and take this money over here on this other side of town. I'm going to go ahead and take this white people money and go help the white people. And go make them as much money as humanly possible. It's another thing when you already Deion Sanders. You already Deion Sanders. Why you need to do that? We got people defending the wrong stuff. Then we got people who are guarding blackness by defending black people from criticism from other black people. Dog, if other black people can't criticize black people, you done created a damn monster. We got to be able to critique one another. You ain't got to agree with it, but you can't call Charleston White a coon for criticizing drill rap. We got some cowards, man. We got some cowards. If you think that makes him a coon, then you don't know what coon is, man. You need to stop using such terminology. If you think that a black man criticizing a mostly black form of music, which is a splinter of hip hop, that he feels is damaging who? Is he intent matters. The intentions of the person matters. So if you are criticizing drill rap because you think it's damaging, or if you're criticizing gangster rap music because you think it's damaging white people, maybe then you got an argument. Maybe then you have an argument. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're criticizing drill rap or gangster rap music or any other activity that black people are engaging in, or that you feel is hurting black people, and you're doing it because you think it's hurting black people, how could you call that cooning? You disagreeing with his criticism is just you disagreeing with his criticism. People gotta have the ability to disagree with one another. Don't be hypocrites, man. We all know the reason why Cam Newton was defending Deion, because that's his boy. I've defended people because I rock with them. And let's be honest. I was supporting Nina Turner so hard because Nina Turner had become a friend of mine. In my mind. That's what I thought. I'm dumb like that. We weren't friends. I don't know her birthday. I don't know where she met her husband. I don't know. I met her husband once. I met her father once. I don't know her like that. But all of a sudden, her issues, her concerns, her losing an election became a personal thing to me because I had begun to feel that she was a friend of mine. So then I defended her. And that's part of the reason why I got so much shit. But I can admit that. I got biased. I became biased. Okay? Cam Newton should just admit that's the reason why he defended Deion Sanders, because it's indefensible. It's indefensible to defend a guy. If we're going to say black people are in this situation that we are in, if you have a way to help HBCUs and you don't, for any reason that has to do with your personal life, that, sir, is what selling out is. Ma'am, that is what selling out is. If you have the ability to help a system of schools generate lots of revenue, and by that help lots of black college students who are playing football get massive amounts of coverage and make massive amounts of revenue. If your presence does that, and you decide after signing a contract with them that you're going to bow out early and go help a white school that don't need it in a system that's full of white schools, how can you say that's anything other than selling out? You can like Deion and still admit that. What's wrong with admitting somebody's doing something that you don't agree with, but you love them, but you respect them, but you wouldn't have done it? But see, Cam Newton comes across as somebody who would have done exactly the same thing. And that's a problem. And it ain't just about Cam Newton. It ain't just about Deion Sanders. It's about a way of thinking that we are more important individually than we are collectively. That you're more important, your individual leisure, your individual ability to have luxury living, your individual success is more important than the collective success. If you believe that, then you have a colonizer's mindset, bruh. Look, my individual comfort is that more important than my family. Why is that? Well, you're Deion Sanders. And 50, I don't know how many football players are on the team, but all those black players in Jackson, all the black players in the HBCUs that would have benefited from him, these are so we could go on and on and on about this topic, but what I'm saying is, and my bigger point is, are you telling me that you think it's wrong to criticize that man for that? To the point where you're calling somebody a coon for criticizing. Look, man, if you want celebrities that hard, you are a fanatic. Like, I love Dave Chappelle's comedy. I think Dave Chappelle is one of the best, most talented, most amazing goats of comedy that has ever lived. But I've never said that people can't criticize him. I've never called a black person a coon for criticizing Dave Chappelle. Some people have called me names because I still support him, which is fucking stupid. But so what? They stupid. I don't think his jokes rise to the level of hate speech. I'm so sorry. You must not have experienced hate speech ever. Like when I was going door to door selling candles when I was in junior high school, and a bunch of white guys came to the door in half t-shirts and wife beaters with beers in their hands telling me, nigga, get off my porch. We don't have no niggas here. Nah, that's hate speech. Dumb. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know the difference between that and a joke? Really? I got sidetracked, man. I done got sidetracked. You really don't get it, though. So we got people who never really experienced any racism, any real marginalization, any real intimidation from the dominant society from white folks who are trying to make themselves a victim of something that they never really don't even equate, dog. I remember when I first really understood who the Klan was, and we lived across the street. We lived in these apartments in Prince George's County, Maryland, called Surrey Square. And I was like 10 years old when I really understood who the Klan were. And I remember having nightmares, man. And behind our apartments was some woods. With some woods behind our apartments. And I remember being up at night looking out the window thinking the Klan was in the woods and they was going to come get us. But you know, y'all people complain a lot about Dave Chappelle, but you ain't up at night. Your 10-year-old trans kids aren't up at night looking out the window thinking Dave Chappelle's in the woods. So shut up, man. Shut up. Like, you go so far off the road, you in the woods, you driving down the lake. You're supposed to stay on the road. You take things so far, it don't make sense. So, back to my thing about Charleston White. There's a difference between calling something out. It's okay to criticize. It's okay to criticize Dave Chappelle. It's okay to criticize Deion Sanders. That does not make you a coon. We just have critiques. And if black people cannot criticize black people, we got a problem. It's so bad. Some of y'all some black folks got real problems. I remember when I was criticizing Hillary Clinton, there were black people who called me a sellout for criticizing Hillary Clinton. Y'all motherfuckers, y'all need help. And that's some crazy shit. Yo, isn't that crazy? Think about what I'm telling you. There were black people criticizing a black man with a black wife, with black kids, with a black house in a black neighborhood. For criticizing and not supporting Hillary Clinton, they called me a sellout. That's how dumb they are. The one that said black kids are super predators. These black kids from poor neighborhoods in the hood where drugs was put in there by the CIA, she called them super predators who need to go to jail. And you're calling me a sellout for saying, fuck her. Some of us ain't rap tight, man. And these are people that consider themselves smart. These are liberal blacks. These were the liberal blacks. It's crazy. It is crazy. This is where we are. So I'm not saying you got to agree with Deion Sanders or disagree with him or agree with Charleston White or disagree with him, but he gets to have the critique of rap music. He can have a critique of rap music and rappers, especially rappers who've committed murder. It's like, it's the craziest, man, dog, it's the craziest thing on the earth. It's crazy. We got some problems, people. We got some problems. When I was coming up, man, I loved hip hop music, man. I wanted to be a rapper at one point. Love rap music, man. You know what I'm saying? I came up with it. I grew up when rap was like really just starting out. Used to break dance, used to all that, you know what I'm saying? Beatbox, did everything. Rap, beatbox, break dance, pop, lock, everything except graffiti. I wasn't really a graffiti guy because I couldn't do it. Did a little DJing, you know what I'm saying? The 5 elements, right? But as rap got harder, I got into gangster rap too. NWA, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, all the whole wave of all the hip hop, gangster rap. But my thing was, I guess when gangsterism really took hold, I was inoculated from it to a certain extent because I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. And even though I did not become a Jehovah's Witness myself, we got a lot of people that think that church is a waste of time. We have people that believe that church is a waste of time. Man, church is not a waste of time. Not at all. If you raise your children and they go to church, it's not a waste of time. It is not a waste of time. Even if those kids don't stay in that religion. Because what happens when they are young and impressionable and you give them some ethics and you give them some things, some pillars, when you give them those guardrails, when you give them this belief and this understanding that there is something bigger than them, something larger than them, that there is something watching them. Like these, I don't care what religion it is. When you have that burnt into your consciousness, then your movements are going to be different. You can't escape that. I thought it was just me. I thought, oh man, I'm just screwed up because I was in the Jehovah's. We don't got no birthdays, we got no damn Christmas. What is wrong with this? But I got something positive from it. And that's why when I listen to the gangster rap, though I love gangster rap, of course I was young and had the hormones jumping and the testosterone jumping and all that you had when you're young. You know what I'm saying? it could never take me all the way because in the back of my head, I still had that Jehovah stuff, which kept me from doing certain things. And that's what I wanted to say. So everybody's not impacted by the drill rap, the gangster rap the same way, because some folks have something else that has grounded them. But when Charleston White's talking, he's talking about kids who don't have nothing grounding them. When they don't have the grounding. I got up every day and saw my dad go to work every day. My dad wore construction boots. He wore construction up until 6 months before he died. He was still on the job. He was a hardworking man. And I got to see that example. And I never seen him smack my mom or beat my mom up or even cuss her out. These were the examples that I was raised with and I experienced. So there was nothing bigger. Rap wasn't big enough, though. The lure of it did not embody me totally. Even when I went on my thing, I did things I shouldn't have done. That's for another podcast. I got into shit I shouldn't have got into. And by the grace of God, I was able to get out of it. Grace of Jehovah, I was able to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? And avoid serious trouble. But I had a grounding in something bigger than myself that gave me a compass that made me feel like, hey, man, this ain't for me. The reason why it wasn't for me is because I had this training. I had no idea that I had this training that made me that way. What I'm saying is when Charleston White is talking about the pearls of hardcore gangster rap type music, when he's talking about the pearls of gangsterism, when he's talking about that impact on the black community, he's speaking for children who don't have those guardrails firmly in place. And for those children who might not be as lucky or as fortunate as I was to have that little thing in the back of your head that says, nah, dog, this ain't for you. And no matter what anybody else says, that voice is louder than their voice. That lure, it doesn't have the same pull. We can still get caught up, but there's a difference. So Charleston White has firm ground to stand on when he's criticizing these things. And he's not a coon for criticizing this shit. White kids aren't dying at the rate that black kids are dying from violence within their neighborhoods. So if we overcorrect, if we have different rules for black kids, we want to have a different set of standards, so we want to have a different, because you can say, oh, Tim, well, we're not saying that to white kids. Well, first of all, we're not talking about white kids, I'm talking about black kids, and I'm talking about our special set of circumstances. I don't have to run down the entire list, but when you consider reading level, dropout rate, suicide rate, which is climbing, even for black boys, something I never knew of, right? We have other considerations. And all I'm saying is, if we got anybody talking about any of this shit at all, and that young people, and if young people are listening to it, if young people are actually listening to what Charleston White's saying, and he having a positive impact, I could care less what Cam Newton or anybody else has to say. Get what I'm saying? Because it ain't about them, it's about those young people that are listening, that are being positively impacted by that message. And if you're fighting a good fight on behalf of black people and you disagree with me or I disagree with you, but our hearts are in the right place, we should both keep doing what we're doing. But if you're sitting up here and you're calling a black man or a black woman a coon for criticizing black folks when they love black folks, gotta show you love them first. I don't mean that Candace Owens shit, where you work for a bunch of white people and you peek over the gate at black people and talk shit about them to make money. That's different. That is different, okay? But when you are a part of the black community, when you love the black community, and you're protective and you're trying to help the black community, that's a different. Once again, the intentions matter. So, once again, I loved 99% of what Charleston White said. I agree with it. I think it should be required viewing and listening. I'm glad that Cam Newton shared that space. I'm glad that they had that conversation. I'm glad it's out there in the world so other people can take advantage of it, listen to it and digest it, and realize that certain people have to talk a certain way in a different tone or a different style so that other people will find it palatable, so that they will listen and ingest it and let it swirl around a little bit in their head, and so that they can accept it and acknowledge it and weigh it and use what you can use and throw the rest away. All right. That's enough. Give it up for that, though. Give it up for that.
Seeking unbiased news? Discover the new Tim Black television network, where truth and integrity lead the way. We're committed to honest reporting and empowering you with factual, unfiltered information. Join a community that values transparency and critical thinking. Ready for news that respects your intelligence? Visit jointimblack.com. Embrace the change, because at Tim Black Television Network, our truth matters. Sign up today for a new kind of news experience. It's a new day.